If you're new to wood carving, I think the worst thing you can do is jump on social media and take everyone's advice on wood carving at face value. There is a lot to unpack in that statement, and I want to do that right now because I want to go over 7 pieces of advice that I think will keep your frustration to a minimum if you get a hold of and help you excel in this hobby that I love. And I really want people to excel, and I really want people to do good. Let's just jump into it with piece of advice number 1. Take your safety seriously.
Just do it!
If you carve 99 times out of 100, and 99 times you're safe, 99 times you're watching your knife cuts, you're paying attention to the wood grain, you're paying attention to how that knife's moving through the wood, but one time you're not. You are so much better off wearing a glove when carving than not. Take your safety seriously. The odds of you cutting yourself, if you're paying attention, are pretty low already. But reduce the chance of having a serious injury if you do cut yourself by taking your safety seriously and wearing a carving glove. Number 2, learn to maintain your own knife. People are consistently having problems with stropping their knives or sharpening their knives when they're new. The number one reason new carvers quit is because of their knives not being sharp or not being easy to maintain. They fall in love with the hobby of carving, and the hobby of sharpening and maintaining a knife is one they leave to the wayside and don't spend as much time working on to get better at. Take one day. Take 3 or 4 hours that day and just spend it learning how to get a knife back to whittling condition. If you spend a couple hours researching, watching YouTube videos from me, from someone else, I've got a video on sharpening and stropping, but if mine don't work, find somebody else's. Find Doug Linker's, find whoever it is that makes it click for you on how to sharpen, how to strop, how to maintain your knife. That's the video you should use. And then once you get a hold of it, once you get a sharp knife, whatever path you use to get to it, stick with it. When it comes to sharpening and stropping, a lot of it is subjective. There are a myriad of ways to get to that end goal of having a sharp and well-maintained knife, and some people are taking the highway, some people are taking the interstate, some people are taking a back road that gets there that they're certain is a shortcut, and it may or may not be. I don't know. Whatever way you use to get that sharp knife from whatever method you've learned, if you've got a sharp knife at the end of the day, it's well-maintained, and you're not having any problems carving, don't listen to anybody else. If it's sharp, you win. Tip number 3, watch other carvers that you envy. Watch how they carve, how they use their knife. I have gained so many insights in how I carve and how to get better at carving by watching carvers that I envy and how they're using their knife. Watching Wayne Larimore, watching Rich Weatherby, watching Floyd Radigan, watching all of these CCA carvers in classes, watching Roger Stiegel and Van Kelly and what they're doing and how they're doing things has translated into my own skills so easy because I didn't realize how they were using a knife in a particular way, and the way they were doing a push cut. That's where I figured out that I wasn't slicing when I was doing push cuts. I wasn't moving my knife forward when I was doing push cuts, and I only realized that when watching someone else carve on a piece of wood. And I realized, oh my gosh, all of these guys are doing the same thing, and it took me to now to see what they were doing. I've had so many revelations that I can't even begin to list them all, and I can't even put them all into words that I see when I see other people carve. So if you can find it online, if you can find it in a class, watch people whose work you envy and see how they carve, because it's a fantastic learning experience, and try to spread that out. Number 4, and this is what I led with, and I want to come to it pretty quickly in this list, be wary of advice on social media. When you get on social media, you might ask, how do I go about sharpening a knife? And you'll get 100 people on there giving you 200 answers. Not everyone is committed to your success in that.
Joey, it's Ross. I need some help.
Okay.
I got really hot in my leather pants, so I took them off, but they must have shrunk from the sweat or something, or my legs expanded from the heat. But I can't get them back on, Joey. I can't.
Do you see any, like, powder?
What's it? Powder? Yeah, I have powder.
Good, okay. Sprinkle some of that on your legs. It'll absorb some of the moisture, and then you can get your pants back on.
Yeah, hold on. They're not coming on, man.
You see any, Vaseline?
Oh, I see lotion. I have lotion. Will that work?
Yeah, sure. Throw some of that on there.
They're still not coming on, man, and the lotion and the powder have made a paste.
Really? What color is it?
Different. difference does that make?
Well, I'm just, if the paste matches the pants, you can make yourself a pair of paste pants and she won't know the difference.
Dude, what am I...
Rachel's here, so good luck, man. Let me know how it works out.
Because Joey isn't invested in Ross's success. He doesn't care. It's not him who's stuck in that bathroom. When you get on social media, if you ask for advice on how to carve and how to sharpen, don't take advice from someone who's only ever posted carvings that look like they've been chewed on by a squirrel. If every carving he's posted looks like it was done with a dull, terribly dull and horrifically done knife, then he tells you, hey, the only way to sharpen your knife is to take it out of the garage, put it underneath your car tire, run it over it a few times. That's what I do with my knife, maintains it perfectly, works every time for me. Look at all these carvings I got done. Look at their carvings and go, wow, not the right person to take advice from. When I was in the military, I was 20 years old, 21 years old, somewhere around there, and I was at the protected aircraft shelter in the desert. I walk outside, I light up a cigarette, and I'm talking to this mass sergeant, and he looks at me, he says, John, how you doing, John? He goes, listen, John, I heard you wanted to quit smoking, John. I'll tell you how to quit smoking. Tell you how to quit smoking right now. I've quit smoking, John, twice already. Twice I've quit smoking, John, and I'll tell you how to do it. I'll tell you right now how to do it, John. I've quit smoking twice, and cold turkey is the only way to go. Cold turkey, Johnny, that's the way you do it. I've quit cold turkey twice. It's worked for me every time. That's how you should quit. And I'm sitting there listening to this guy, and I'm amazed. I'm thinking, yes, good advice, fantastic. Then it hit me. He's still smoking. Why would I take his advice? He's still smoking. It didn't work for him. I'm not going to be taking advice from folks who are not successful in whatever endeavor I'm looking to do, and you shouldn't either. If someone is objectively terrible at what they're offering you advice on, don't take it. When you get on social media, be discerning about whose advice you take. There are so many people in these Facebook groups and in these Instagram groups that are absolutely fantastic, that make breathtakingly beautiful carvings, and that are offering genuine, heartfelt advice, seeking to see your success. Be mindful of whose advice you're taking and take advice from those people. Absolutely, 100%. But be mindful that you're not getting advice from that guy who's telling you to run over your knife 3 times, and that's how you keep it sharp, because it's not going to work out for you. And I don't want you frustrated. I don't want you thinking, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Why is this not working for me? Because you're taking the wrong person's advice. I am not a wood carving expert. I am an enthusiastic amateur. That's all I am. So everything that I tell you, all the advice I give you is coming from that point of view, that standpoint. I'm going to get better, and as I do, my opinions on things are going to evolve and change. The way that I paint has evolved and changed in the past year drastically and dramatically. The way I carve has done the same, and I'm getting better at things. I can give you advice, but whatever advice I give you is going to come from the standpoint and the filter or the lens of where I'm at right now. And that's going to change over time. And it changes for a lot of these folks. And you need to keep that in mind when you're seeking advice. If you get advice from someone else who's new, they're giving you advice from that perspective. If you get advice from Dave Stetson, who's been carving for 40 plus years, if you get advice from carvers who have been carving for maybe longer than you've been alive, if you're a young fella or a young lady, then you're going to see that much more benefit from it if there's someone who's looking to see you succeed. Okay, that brings me to number 5. Carve what you enjoy. If someone gets you carving things that you don't enjoy carving, you're going to fall out of the hobby quickly. Don't carve something just because someone else is carving it, just because other people are doing it. Carve what makes you happy. Carve what you're having fun carving. And if you do that, you're going to fall deeper in love with the hobby. You're going to get better at the hobby, and you're going to see more success and more progress than you would have otherwise. Carve what you enjoy. I'm begging you. Carve often, all the time, every chance you get. Even when carving something small, wood chips in the floor equal wood carving experience. You see small amounts of experience with certain types of carvings and large amount of experience with other types of carvings. I'm just talking about carving experience, period. The more I carve, the more I do V-cuts, the better I get at V-cuts. The more I carve, the better I get at determining wood grain. The more I carve, the better I get at making those swooping cuts, at making clean lines and clean cuts. Even if I'm carving something simple, I get better at my knife work by doing little mushrooms and little dwarves, and I get better and better the more I carve. Time spent carving equals experience. Now, that is how you get experience, period. But you can get massive gains, better gains, bigger gains with this next point. Carve things that make you uncomfortable. If you look at a carving and you think, I'm not sure I can accomplish that, that is absolutely, positively, 100% a carving you should attempt.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad! You keep digging!
If you think, oh, Johnny, I don't know if I can do that one. That one looks a little too difficult. Put it on your list. Put it on your list. If you look at it and you think that looks fun, I want to do that. Put it on your list. Put it on your list. Do it. Try it. What have you got to lose? A piece of wood? Look, I wanted to carve faces, and so I started with a terribly dull knife, and I made terrible carvings. This is one of my first carvings of a face. It is all, look at all that chatter everywhere. It was a dull tool. It was absolutely terrible. It was horrible, horrendous. It is not a good carving. Most folks would not be happy, would not want to show this to anyone. And I'll show it to you to show you where I was. And as you practice, right, you take that and you get a little bit better, and then you start doing other things. I wanted to get better caricature, so I practiced other type of faces, smaller ones. And these are horrible. They're terrible, but I'm working at getting better, and I'm trying things that make me uncomfortable, trying things I don't really understand how to do, and I'm making terrible carvings to set aside, and I keep going, and I start watching my face. I take some advice from Joe Schumacher. He's like, look at yourself in a mirror. He goes, the features you see in your own face, start trying to replicate them. So I start trying to replicate features I see in my own face on the carving, and I get better, and I do a little bit more, and I progress further, and I start trying to do other things, and I get even better at it. And I'm amazed at this point. I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty good, Johnny. That's pretty neat. Now, it's not a great carving, but it is significantly better than where I was. And so I keep going. And now, when I do caricature faces, the faces I get are significantly better than where I was when I started. Like this guy. This is a fun bearded guy. I mean, he's just neat. Practicing things that make you uncomfortable is not going to show you immediate success right off the bat. You're going to make something terrible. It's very likely. You're going to make something that you don't want anyone to see. You don't have to show anybody. Nobody has to know. You could throw this away and never show a living soul. They wouldn't know you carved something with square eyes. They wouldn't know you carved something thinking it was done and didn't put any ears on it. They would have no idea if you didn't show them.
5 minutes later.
What I'm saying is, carving things that make you uncomfortable are going to help you improve. The only way you can get good at something that you want to do is to give it a try, is to put a little time and a little effort into it. And if you do that consistently and work forward and work through it, you're going to see more success. So try the things that make you uncomfortable. If you're new to carving, remember this. Stay safe. Keep your knife sharp and well maintained. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Carve often, carve what you love, and sometimes carve what scares you. That's going to be how you grow. Listen, folks, I really appreciate your time. That's about the end of the video. I thank you so much for sticking around the end of the video, watching the whole thing. Thank these folks over on Patreon who are consistently helping me out and encouraging me. And the chat over there is something I look forward to reading and going through every day, so I really appreciate that. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and head over to Instagram, Facebook. Give me a like and a follow over there if you would. And outside of that, I'll see you folks next time. I appreciate you. Bye.